I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. That's the Special District Association responsible for bringing the area free to access TV stations over the air by antenna. This is a community TV station, so if there's a news story or event information that you would like to share, call us at 970-677-4119. And if you're a business or organization, we welcome you to find out about sponsorship opportunities for banners or video segments run on the channel. This is the Monday program for August 31st, 2020, DCTV Daily News. Denver 9 News wrote about the mask issue. Quote, the Colorado Supreme Court on Friday denied a petition filed late Thursday night to declare numerous public health orders, including the current statewide mask mandate, unconstitutional, according to court documents. The decision came in response to a suit filed late on August 26 by Colorado House Minority Leader Patrick Neville, Republican from Douglas County, and Michelle Malkin, a conservative political commentator. In a Facebook video announcing the lawsuit, Neville claims emergency executive orders being signed by Polis overstep his gubernatorial powers. The suit named Governor Jared Polis, Democrat from Colorado, Jill Hunsaker Ryan, the Colorado Department of Health and Environment, CDPHE, Executive Director, Susan Whelan, the Executive Director of the El Paso County Public Health, ELCPH, and Bob McDonald, the Executive Director of the Denver Department of Health and Environment. The lawsuit asked the state Supreme Court to declare the Colorado Disaster Emergency Act, various CDPHE public health orders, various EPCH public health orders, and the Denver public health orders unconstitutional. Of those orders, the, quote, face covering orders were specifically mentioned, as well as various others that were put in place since March in response to the novel coronavirus. They also included some of the first orders that shut down non-essential businesses and an executive order requiring businesses to reduce their in-person workforce by 50%. The suit also challenged the statewide stay-at-home order. Neville argued that the governor overstepped his power and said there was no input from the legislature, even though the House and Senate were in session shortly before Polis signed the order. Polis provided the following statement to 9 News after the court's decision on Friday. Quote, mask wearing is a proven way to slow the spread of this deadly virus, will help keep businesses open, save lives, and keep our economy growing. I'm glad the Supreme Court stands with the people of Colorado in our fight against the deadly virus, in which mask wearing is one of our most effective weapons, end quote from Polis. Obviously, there are scientists and experts on both sides of the mask issue, and as the data continues to be a moving target of what it means, readjusted numbers coming out just recently, and how the information is applied to our reality, this Project COVID-19 will continue to be a factor in everyone's lives. Be healthy, wash your hands, and take personal responsibility seriously. And now let's take a look at our local weather for the start of September this week. Today, sunny with a high near 82 degrees and breezy with southeast winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour, shifting from the southwest 15 to 20 miles an hour in the afternoon, and look for some more windy gusts up to 30 miles an hour. For tonight, a 30% chance for showers, mainly between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. with mostly cloudy skies, and a low around 52 on the overnight, remaining breezy with a southwest wind 15 to 20, shifting to southeast and calming down to 5 to 10 miles an hour after midnight. For Tuesday, it remains a 20% chance for showers before 7 a.m. Mostly sunny the rest of the day with a high near 74. Nice and cool. North-northeast winds around 10 miles an hour, moving west in the morning. And then Tuesday night, clear and a low around 49. So things are going to start to get chilly. That's for September 1st. North-northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour become light northeast after midnight. That system will start to move out on Wednesday. Expect more sunny skies and a high near 81 degrees with light and variable winds becoming west-northwest 5 to 10 miles an hour. Winds could gust again on Wednesday as high as 20. Wednesday night, clear with a low around 53 degrees. For the end of the week, we start to heat back up a bit. Thursday, sunny with a high near 86 degrees. Thursday night, clear and a low around 54. Here in Dove Creek, Dolores County, an enthusiastic group of trucks and vehicles participated in the Open Community Cruise, Maine. that was held Friday night at 7 p.m. It's been happening the last Friday of the month to Back the Blue, supporting our sheriff department and all first responders, and a tribute to Back to School this week. Thank you for parents and teachers and kids for all of their efforts heading back to whatever type of educational program that works best in each case. The Dove Creek Chamber is a supporter of this community event to wave flags and honk horns and celebrate the positiveness in our community, with a focus on shopping local to keep our businesses moving forward in these challenging times. In other locations across the country and around the world, it looks like a very different picture. Violence and unabated destruction of businesses and properties are expanding, unfortunately, in mostly larger city areas. In the closest larger city to us, the role of police in Durango is being worked on to the best and highest success. The Durango Herald provided an update on what's happening over there to our east. They write, when police officers step out of their vehicles, they may be responding to a drug overdose, domestic violence, or public intoxication. The action might be a crime, but what if its root cause is mental health related? The Durango Police Department wants to change its policing to better address the community's needs, particularly concerning behavioral health. It just needs to solve a logistical maze first. In early August, DPD pitched a pilot program for alternative policing to Durango City Council, centered on an innovative partnership with Axis Health System of Southwest Colorado. The goal is to reallocate community resources so eventually police can focus on crime prevention and crisis clinicians can address nonviolent or non-criminal incidents. But to get there, new partnerships, new funding, and new teams need to become a reality. Quote, if we can pull the experts in here and provide a higher level of care, maybe they're going to do a much better job than we can to actually help somebody in the long term, said Bob Bramer, Durango Police Chief. Police officers are often first responders for mental health crisis, homelessness, medical calls, and more, issues that are more in line with the work of mental health clinicians, social workers, and emergency medical technicians. Mental health-related calls started going to police in the 1950s and the 60s when inpatient facilities stopped being the go-to placement for people with mental health conditions. Since then, 10 to 20% of police interactions involve people with mental illness. That according to a 2008 academic article in the International Journal of Law and Psychiatry. About 64% of inmates in local jails had mental health problems, according to a 2006 Bureau of Justice statistics report. But seeing police officers with guns, badges, and uniforms might trigger the wrong response for a person in crisis, especially if he or she has had negative experiences with police in the past. People with mental illness end up entering the criminal justice system when they could have been helped by another type of resource. Resources are a big challenge for the understaffed police department, Bramer said. Responding to such a wide variety of calls requires more training and time for police departments. Quote, you get the call and you're trying to figure out how to provide the most appropriate help for someone, said Sergeant Tim Dixon with DPD. Maybe the person's greatest need is an overnight shelter, but that person cannot go to the shelter for one reason or another. Maybe that person is off his or her medication and needs to go to the hospital. Police are trying to find the best resource for that person, he said. Quote, sometimes in reality, we get kind of stuck and it's hard to figure out where to go to help the person, Dixon said. We hope through this program we'll have a team that can deal with these situations and know the resources really well. The issue of alternative policing is also woven into the wave of protests calling for police reform, spurred by several deaths of Black Americans caused by police, Bramer said. Now in Durango, it's gaining momentum on its own program. It just needs to finalize a contract with Axis Health System, which provides mental health services in Southwest Colorado, get city approval and funding, design protocols, recruit staff members, and facilitate a culture shift. Quote, because of the events that are occurring right now, it's giving us the motivation and the incentive to push forward versus just asking the question, Bramer said. Axis and DPD are in the beginning stages of creating the pilot program that would combine each agency's resources into a new specialized team. The program would be based on existing models like crisis assistance helping out on the streets from Eugene, Oregon. Oregon is a very difficult place right now, and Denver's, quote, support team assisted response created in 2019. While Durango is the only city initiating a pilot program, Mancos and Cortez are also interested in partnering with Axis on alternative policing, Berg said. The alternative policing pilot program is in its earliest stages, and both Access and Durango Police will need to tackle logistical challenges to make it happen. For decades, communities have known they needed better systems for responding to nonviolent incidents, particularly when it comes to mental health. The coronavirus pandemic has increased instances of substance abuse and depression. Suicide and overdose rates have increased, Bramer said, and social unrest has increased the city's incentive to act. The chaos of the coronavirus pandemic has made it clear that 911 response can't cover everything that is coming through the call system, Burke said. People see the need for a change. Law enforcement agencies are trying similar programs and seeing success. With recognition and demonstrated success, Burke believes the funding will follow. And the Journal here in Dolores County and Dove Creek reported on what's happening on Project COVID-19 up in San Juan County in Silverton. San Juan County reported its first outbreak of Project COVID-19 on Friday at a Silverton business, but local health officials have declined to say exactly where it occurred. Deanne Gallegos, a spokeswoman for the San Juan County Office of Emergency Management, said the outbreak originated at a Silverton business along with a separate group of individuals. In all, 4 people associated with the outbreak tested positive. According to state guidelines, an outbreak is defined as 2 or more cases at a location in a 14-day period. You might want to look up what cases means as opposed to someone who's actually sick or ill or needs hospitalization. Just a side note. Gallegos and San Juan County Public Health Director Becky Joyce declined to name the workplace on Friday. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment updates its list of active outbreaks every Wednesday. When contacted on Friday, a spokeswoman with CDPHE said, quote, "We don't have any information to share. San Juan County will be your best contact as they are the lead investigator." Gallegos said anyone who might have been exposed to the COVID-19 positive individuals may be contacted by case investigators from San Juan County Public Health. As of Friday, 20 people had been contacted who are connected to the cases. Since the pandemic began, the case count in San Juan County has remained low, with only 2 positive results. Despite the reported outbreak, CDPHE still listed the county's case numbers as of Friday as 2. It is more important than ever to not let our guards down now that we are 6 months into the pandemic, Joyce said in a prepared statement. We are all in this together, and protecting our community is our foremost priority. Did I mention wash your hands frequently? And the Denver Channel reported what you might have already heard. The Pine Gulch Fire is now the largest fire in the history of Colorado, acreage-wise, at over 139,000 acres. The Pine Gulch Fire on the Western Slope broke that record last Thursday evening, becoming the largest wildfire in Colorado on record. It's reported to be around 77% contained as the last update, according to the Rocky Mountain Incident Management Team. Before Thursday night, the Hayman Fire was the largest wildfire on record in the state. That fire, which broke out in 2002, burned 137,760 acres before it was contained north of Lake George and included Park, Jefferson, Douglas, and Teller counties. According to the Pike and San Isabel National Forests, it was one of the most severe wildfires in respect to burn intensity. It grew rapidly and destroyed 600 structures in its path, including 133 residences, 1 commercial building, and 466 outbuildings. The fire was caused by humans and was contained and controlled by the end of July of 2002. The Pine Gulch Fire started on July 31st, about 18 miles north of Grand Junction, and it was sparked by lightning. And for those who have experienced trouble breathing during this time of all the fires going around in the state that caused a lot of issues in our air quality, Purple Air, shown here, purpleair.com, is not sure about what the name means, but if you weren't aware, our emergency manager Keith Kiesling reported to the county commissioners on the monthly updates today that everyone can access an air quality monitoring data system online at purpleair.com. And that very shortly, hopefully this week, there will be another monitoring device over in Rico that you'll also be able to locate on their website. Again, as the recent fires have increased particles in the air, it's fairly obvious that the quality has been low, but with the latest rains, which have come through our area. Our air quality is not so critical right now. The Dove Creek Chamber has added the purple air widget graphic to the front of their website, so you can easily find that at dovecreekchamber.com if you want to check in there. And there's also the weather widget there with the webcam from the top of the Dolores County Courthouse, which is now back online. The links to this and stories and events are all posted on our Facebook page, which is DCTV Daily News, where you can also watch the program replay along with news, links, and stories of local interest. And you too can share other events or news there and join in on our conversation. Again, this is your local community TV station, so if you have something to share, contact us by email, dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call 970-677-4119. Thanks for tuning in to DCTV Daily News. Programs are broadcast as available Monday through Friday with replays online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV Daily News page on Facebook. And if you like the program, we ask if you do, please follow and like us there and share it with your friends and family. This has been a production of DCTV for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Again, thank you for watching and have a great week.